Everybody's capable, smiling. It's all right.
We went through med school with Jack, 10 years younger.
We'll make it dental school. George.
Goodness gracious me, you know. Cut it out.
Oh, you never know. Everyone loved her. She loved
Good to see you. Yeah.
We're taking a photo. You love each other.
Anyone that wants to is to do what is basically the essence of being human, and that is that we share stories and experiences. So while you're having your main course, think of a few anecdotes, a few stories that you can relate about Jack. And he's asked me that because he is a little old and feeble, that you treat him kindly. I will now ask my father, Jack, just to say a few words to welcome you tonight.
Myself, in honour of all of you people. I've had some good spots in my life and some rough ones, and during that time I've had people who've been very supportive of me. Even people who are not aware of it have been a great comfort to me. And this party tonight is your party. I'm here to turn on a party for people who've always supported me, and people who didn't support me haven't been invited tonight. I'd like to particularly mention folk like Brian Harricks. I went through a fairly rough time a few years ago, just personally, and Brian was a great friend to me. Always an invitation to his home, wherever I dropped in, folk like that, wherever I look. Roger and the Shalfoon family have been great friends of mine for many, many years. Unhappily, Joe and Anne have died and gone their way, but Roger here still represents a name that I cherish very much. I can't mention you all. Michael and June, what lovely friends they've been all of my life. Michael first came to my dental practice when he was in short pants. And he's not wearing short pants tonight. Many years have gone by, but I've always had a fond friendship with the Chong family. And they've done much for me too. Mostly what I did for Michael and June was to inflict pain on them. In the dental practice, they took it very well. They've even come tonight to join me. But to all of you folk, Patricia, Graham, who visited me on many occasions, been very supportive. Murray and Sally over there. And where's Lawrence? Is he still with us?
He's a bit sick, actually. He's up in the room.
Yeah, oh, good. Well, not good, bad. At least he's got a room to lie down in, and I hope Lawrence is not feeling very well. But they've been so supportive of me, out on the farm as I've become older and unable to do very much anymore. Who's always there helping me but somebody from the Palmer household. So to all of you, for everywhere I look, I see people I love and who've been very kind to me. So it's your party. I had mine last Thursday night. We had a wee bit of a bash out at the farm and enjoyed it with Jeff and Jenny, David and Pam, Murray and Sally, and Harry the cat. We had a very pleasant little evening. So that was my party. Those young ladies, George.
Nothing type to elaborate on the background of the association, but I can say that I wouldn't make the effort to come from Christchurch for today and go back tomorrow unless there was some substantial evidence that there was a worthiness of the occasion. And by God's good grace, and being in association with another wartime association of our same service, I've been privileged and honoured to have the opportunity to speak with you. But I won't elaborate on all the stories and background associations of which I am familiar, because you wouldn't be bored. You'd be so bloody embarrassed you would be
I was so delighted when I received the message to come. We were invited to come here. I knew Jack from a long way back when we were training, and later on boat life in the Navy. But I didn't see much of him after the war. He called at our place one time. I was a farmer. I was working in the cow yard, and he drove up beside the shed and got out of the car, threw something up in the air, way up in the air, and it landed on the concrete. And there was a plastic torch.
That's right, yeah.
He remembers. Anyway, I saw him once or twice after that. I took him water skiing at the Tauranga, and he seems to remember that. But I tried to see him a few times, but he's too busy. And I'm very privileged that my wife and I, Val, we're very privileged to be here. We're doing it so much, and we hope he comes around and sees us sometime.
Yes.
Try. Thank you very much.
And Jack stepped in and steadied me up and got me into the right direction, and it's never forgotten, Jack. And it's been having you in life all those years.
And kept you clear of Martin
And
Harris.
kept me clear of Martin Ellis. And it's been like having Dad around. So, Jack, it's wonderful to have you here, and I'm looking forward to 2022. We'll be there, for sure.
It's all a pleasure, Roger.
Thanks, Jack.
Roger.
And I'll introduce you briefly to my Uncle Jack's, Len West, his only brother, who passed away 30 years ago this month. I have my older sister and Mervyn from Australia, sitting over here, Marion. My younger sister and Margaret and Grant from Tauranga. Myself and my good lady, Graham and Patricia from Tauranga. My daughter from Australia, and her daughter from another part of Australia. One's in Townsville, one's down there. So we've got the 4 generations down there, which I think is a privilege that we're all here to celebrate our dear uncle. I could go back some years and tell a few things on the family side, but I'm a bit frightened I might tell the wrong things. Do it. That's what my wife keeps saying. Never mind. I go back to when I was very young, 4. We lived in a place called Papatawa, bottom end of Hawke's Bay, with my older sister. At that stage, the younger one wasn't even thought of. I was 4, 1942. 1945, this gentleman came back to New Zealand. During that little 3 years when I was 4, 5 and 6, and Marion, we used to go to a place called Woodville, 37 Ross Street, which was our grandfather, Jack's father, and my grandfather. And up on the wall, there was this lovely big framed photograph of this man, dressed in white, with a big cap on and everything. And some days was every day, every week, he saw it. And we were told on many occasions that that is our uncle. He's at the war looking after us and serving the world. I thought, great, he's great. He's my hero. One day that hero arrived, and that was Jack. And I think I was about 7, if I remember right at that stage. Might have been 6. Marion, do you remember? 6 or 7, something like that. And we're introduced to this hero guy, this fellow that saw the picture of, and here's my uncle, he's representing us overseas. Great, what a man he must be. And he was, he turned out to be a real good mate of mine. I suppose 3 or 4 years after he came back from the war, I can well remember him coming to our place on the farm, and he took Marion, myself, my mum, my dad and himself with gumboots on down to the creek, across the neighbour's place with a torch and a gaff. And he taught us young people to go eeling. And this is an eel here, and there's a thing called a white water eel, and there's a mud eel. Now don't touch the mud eels, boy. Yeah, okay, fine. So I don't want to say too much about that. There's 2 or 3 little things you taught me, Jack. One was
pointing out to him that what we got in the Navy was about 20 times worse. Remember? That was gourmet food compared with some of the stuff we were served in England. Don't you remember the fish that used to come down from Grimsby?
Yes, I remember well.
And stunk to high heaven before it ever went into the kitchen? At St Vincent, yeah? During the war, a lot of the food that we were offered then, you know, you wouldn't feed to, was it the Albany Ponds?
Happy birthday to you. Hooray! 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 The breakfast. And a lovely farewell breakfast.
What, 13 years? Yeah.
Jack.
Backwards and forwards between.
Not Jack on the shoulder.
I spent a bit of time in Yamba, just further up the coast.
Nope. Is it in there?
McLean's in on the river.
Oh yeah, I know McLean. Yeah.
Yamba's out of the mouth.
Yeah. No, I don't
Hey
know
Jack,
Yeah.
knock him on the shoulder, love.
Grandson.
The cause of it all. Alan Jack West, 1922.
Again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.